Welcome to the Explainer. You know, sometimes the future doesn't just creep up on us, it kicks the door down. And in this Explainer, we're going to unpack one of those moments. We're talking about August 2025, a single month of innovation so dense it literally reshaped our world.
All right, let's just jump right in. I mean, take a look at this timeline. This isn't just a few interesting product launches sprinkled here and there. No. This was a full-on blitz. We're seeing major breakthroughs happening almost back-to-back, spanning everything from the basic silicon chips that power our lives to the software that makes them smart, and even into the fundamental code of biology itself.
So to get a real handle on what's happening, you first have to look at the foundation they were building. And it all kicks off with just the staggering, mind-blowing scale of investment in the physical stuff, the infrastructure that's going to power this new era.
Case in point, on August 18th, a project was announced in, of all places, North Dakota, a brand new $3 billion AI data center.
And just when you're trying to wrap your head around that number, you find out that only 5 days earlier, Google announced it was pouring a staggering $9 billion into its own data centers. This isn't just pocket change. This is the kind of capital that screams a fundamental shift is happening right now.
And what this table really shows you is that while the price tags are different, the mission is identical. Whether it's the $3 billion project or Google's $9 billion one, it's all about one thing: creating the raw computational horsepower needed to fuel this AI revolution. They are literally building the factories of the 21st century.
This really drives home how global this all is, because it's not just about building the data centers, it's about what you put inside them. NVIDIA's new chip design for China is just a masterclass in this new reality. It had to be engineered to be powerful enough to matter, but also compliant enough to navigate these super complex US trade rules. Think about that. Even designing a silicon chip is now a high-stakes geopolitical balancing act.
Okay, so we've got this unbelievable new foundation of hardware, these massive data centers, a multi-billion-dollar investment in pure raw computational power. But that brings up the big question, right? What do you actually do with all of it? I mean, where does all that power go?
Well, let's follow the power. Let's see how all that raw capability starts to trickle down and build directly into the tools that we use every single day, both in our personal lives and, of course, in the business world. This is where the abstract starts to get very, very real.
So in just 1 month, AI became way more integrated into our lives. Xiaomi rolled out a new voice model that works completely offline, making your smart home quicker and more private. Apple dropped the iPhone 17, packing some serious on-device AI for things like photo editing. And then xAI released Grok-Imagine, this incredible new tool to create images and video from, just a few words of text.
But look, it wasn't just about cool gadgets for us. The business world saw a huge infusion of cash and capability too. And this chart really puts things into perspective. That $500 million funding round for a company like Cohere, that is massive, but it also shows you how even that huge number is still dwarfed by the multi-billion-dollar spending on the pure foundational infrastructure. And we saw two perfect examples of this in August. The AI platform Cohere landed $500 million to scale up its automation tools for big businesses. And at the same time, the tech giant TCS opened up a brand new AI hub in Mexico City, specifically to bring these kinds of services to businesses all across Latin America. This whole revolution is being deployed globally and at scale.
And this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. While the digital world was being rewritten in silicon and code, an equally profound revolution was picking up speed in the world of carbon and biology. We weren't just learning to rewrite computer code, we were learning to rewrite the code of life itself.
Now, to get this next part, you just need to know this one term: post-translational modification. It sounds complicated, but it's not. In our cells, after a protein gets built, it often gets edited or changed. Just think of it like nature's way of customizing a standard part for a very specific job. It's absolutely crucial for how it functions. So the huge news in August 2025 was something called the Bayer reaction. And this is a groundbreaking technique that lets scientists do these modifications themselves, artificially in a lab. They can now literally create new types of biological building blocks that don't even exist in nature. It's opening up a whole new frontier for medicine. And get this, at the exact same time this theoretical breakthrough was happening, it was matched by a super practical one. A company called Rewrote launched new reagents that pretty much act like tiny little trackers. They actually light up to show researchers if a new drug is successfully getting inside a cell.
This gives them precise, instant data, which just dramatically speeds up the whole process of finding new treatments for diseases like cancer.
Okay, so let's just pull back for a second and connect the dots. You've got this massive AI build-out, you've got AI tools becoming a normal part of our lives, and then you have this parallel revolution happening in biotech. When you pull all those threads together, what does one incredible month actually tell us about the future that we are building?
Well, there are three huge takeaways here. First, the foundation is being scaled at a speed and a cost we have never seen before. Second, we're watching these two revolutions, AI and biology, accelerate side by side, and they're starting to fuel each other. And third, all this raw power isn't abstract anymore. It is in our phones, it's in our businesses, and it's in our medical labs right now.
So you see, the events of August 2025 weren't just a series of product launches. They were a fundamental rewriting of our technological and biological rulebooks. And that leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question to think about. When that much changes that fast, what in the world happens next?